Hello. Hi, it's Kelly. Welcome to my channel. I have been gone a very long time, and I hope to come back this year and stay with you for a while. Um, I had lost my mother, and that was a very hard time for me. I've also had some health issues, but hopefully on the mend. Tuesday we go in and hopefully find out if I have DVT, and hopefully I don't. So I've had some health issues. Most of you know that I suffer from systemic lupus with fibromyalgia. So yeah, it hit me pretty hard back in January, and I was put in the hospital for a while and had to have a surgery. So I'm doing much better than I was in the last couple of years. So I've been asked by several of you that watch me on Instagram if I would please do a video on how I made these little ornaments with the little Tim Holtz and stamp timber die from 2022, which it's called Walter, or actually it's from December 2023. This is the die. I just love penguins. They're one of my favorites. So I will be doing that. So let me show you what dies I used for this. The only dies that I don't know where I got them from, and I think they are honeybee. I'm pretty sure they are. It's the foliage I use for my decoration. And of course, we all know I use pine cones in all my ornaments and 3D projects. So I have a pine cone that I'm going to have to cut down to a tinier size. And then I used the Sizzix, I think it's Sizzix, or no, it's Spellbinders. It's the Spellbinders poinsettia. Okay, and this one's going to be a little different. I'm not going to use the Doris trimming, which is a rope for jewelry making. I'm going to use the Hobby Lobby like a pipe cleaner wreath kind of foliage. You can also use the Dollar Tree. I have that too, so I'm going to use it instead. Okay, hopefully I can get this done, and I'm hoping not to have too many errors, because I really don't like to film on my phone, and I make a lot of errors. So be with me, be patient. I'm not perfect, but here we go. Okay, the dies I use for this, I showed you little Walter. I also use this one from Tim Holtz. It is called Vault Watch Gears. It is 66603. I also used another Tim Holtz die. It's called Tall Pines, 665583. I love this die. And then you also can use, if you don't have the tall pines, you can also use this one, which I have used. It is called Tree Line, 661604. Now that's funny, because I had a scrapbook store called Tree Line Scrapping. Anyways, so that's what I use for those. And then I got a 2¼ inch bulb, the half bulbs, plastic, that you can get on Amazon. The circle on this watch is actually a little bit bigger. It's more like a 2½ inch, but it doesn't matter. You can use the 2¼ or 2½ if you have that. I also made a background for this guy, which everybody should know how to do that with your oxides. So, and the other thing I used to build it up, because you have to have a little bit of lift to get this little part inside this watch so it doesn't go all over the place and fit right, is I used packaging from a cake mix. for 2 layers of it, and then I used craft cardstock for the 3rd layer you need. So, and then I used the Tim Holtz paper for this. So, okay. So what you need to do is you need to take your die out, and you need to make 2 solid pieces. So that's where you take the circle that comes with this off of it. So I did a craft piece to make it a little more sturdier, and then I cut it for the back side with the silver cardstock. And then we have, you know, the 3 layers plus the silver. And then you need to cut a circle that is 2 1/4 out, and you can make the sky on that, or you can pre-do on a big sheet of paper if you're going to make many of these, like I do is I make several of these and cut the circle out of those. So anyways, pretty much what you do is you glue all 4 of these together. So I don't know if I'll do all of this work, but you glue all those together and these 2 together, and then you put right in the center here, it has a circle, and you'll put your circle there, glue it on, put your glued layers on like this. So you get that your bottom piece done first, and in order to get this on, you're going to need to cut this off, so you don't have a bulk. So I just use an old pair of really used up little wire die cutter separators, and just do that. And I will put this cut off piece at the top and glue that down with glossy accents, but that comes last. So I just screwed up already, forgive me. So after I get those together, I will, oh crud, I did it wrong again, forgive me. After you get your night sky on, if you want to, you can take some of this white gesso, and put it along a little bit on the bottom of this if you want. I don't do that. You don't see it, so I don't bother. But you take your die cut from the tall pines, and I just use the small pieces and the one to the far left of that to take this away, and I will cut it down to size. So I'll put it where I want it to be, so about there, and then I'll take my scissors and I will cut it off right at the circle line. So you have that, okay? And after you glue those down, you will get your Walter with a hat or without a hat. You will use some foam tape. I think it's about a 1/2 inch quarter tape or foam tape, and you will glue it on the back of him because you want him to be lifted up, and you will place him down where you want him, and that's about it. So once those are all glued in and down, by the way, the back of my night sky is very sparkly. I sprayed it with some shimmer mist from Tattered Angels. I cannot find this anymore. I don't know if they have it out there, but this is one of my favorite, and I'm getting real low on it. But boy, it sparkles the sky up. And anyway, so then you will put your 4 layers on top of that. Okay, you line it all up. It's all on there, right? Okay, and once that's all together evenly, nicely, before you put your dome on, you'll go around the edges of it with your vintage photo or whatever brown ink you want, and kind of make them all kind of nice and distressed on the sides. And then you'll put your before you put your dome on, you'll want to get your mica flakes. So what I use is mica flakes and rock candy glitter, plus I also add this glitter in, which is a glass glitter. So I'll put those things in probably right in the middle of Walter, and then I'll put my dome on. What I'll do is I'll go around the edges with my glossy accents real lightly. You can use hot glue if you want, and I'll place it right down over the top. Make sure your dome isn't full of, you know, greasy fingerprints. And so I'll place it down. So all that will be right there. And once that's all together and dry, then you can take your whatever trimming you want to put around it, because you want to hide that inside edge. And you'll put that down. You know, I think I like the rope better. So you put it down over that, you glue it down, and then you'll decorate it on the top like this. And then you're done. I hope that helps you know how to make these. They're so simple, but I didn't want to put one together just yet. I have a lot to cut out, and I'd rather cut a bunch out and get them done. But like I said, I haven't been feeling well, and but hopefully I can today, because my husband is home today, yay. And our little dog, Zoe, who is now 15, bugs me all day long. I can't sit in my craft room because she's so old, and she wants attention all day long. So I have a hard time crafting. But when my husband's home, I'm in this messed up room all day long having a great time. And so hopefully I'll get some done today. So stay tuned for later. I'll come back hopefully on Saturday and show all my makes that I'm working on now, because I'm also making a boxed ornament with little Walter. And also you can also use other little dies for this. You can use, if you have this set, or if you have these little guys in any of the little sets, you know, they work perfectly too. You can use gingerbread, you know, men, and so I did make one with one of the little snowmen as well. There is a little arm in there that's around his little candy cane. He's holding the candy cane. Oh, so anyways, that's what I do. So anyways, thank you for watching. I hope this helps, and if you have any questions, please do ask me. I always answer your comments. I love your comments. And please subscribe to my channel. If you have taken yourself off, please return. Anyways, thank you again for watching, and have a nice day. Thank you. Bye.